Hello.
Good evening.
Welcome.
What up?
What is up? What is down? Did you call your father today and tell him a happy Father's Day? You better have. This is gonna haunt you.
Nah, okay. So we had a Zoom call planned, and then freaking my internet service provider decides to go out for like 16 hours. Seriously, and we ended up doing just doing like a conference call. I went to sleep thinking it'll be back up by the time I wake up tomorrow, and well, anyway. But yeah, hope you all had a nice Father's Day. And if you didn't have a nice Father's Day, I hope you had a nice Sunday. Unless you're in Australia or something, in which case, hope you had a nice Monday, I guess. Well,
Sorry, we were talking about Teva stuff right before the stream started, and I was like, what kind of bird is Teva? And so now I'm like on a Google search, like trying to find stuff. Apparently the name Teba comes from a dish in Japanese culture, and it's baked chicken wings.
oh, okay.
Apparently that's where the name Teba comes from.
Nice. You know, I look at him. He's got like, I mean, he has a sort of a raptor beak, but at the same time, he's got like a cockatiel thing going on with his hairstyle. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. So Teba and his wife Saki. The Japanese translation for chicken wings is Tebasaki.
Oh.
So they literally just took that word, split it in two, and said, "Yep, done." Cass is a pun on kashiwa, which translates to chicken meat.
Nice.
Oh my god! Why is there all food? Why do they want to eat the Rito so much?
No, it's like Dragon Ball. I mean, you know, all the vegetable characters. You know, just yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, there's some of these others that I marked. There's one that's still up there. I could probably get to it.
What's on the menu tonight? Who are we gonna eat? Are we gonna eat anybody, Rick? Can we eat somebody?
Yes.
Cool.
Tonight, Vor.
All right.
Oh god.
Is it really Vor if it's like Rito though, or no?
It's still Vor. It's just not cannibalism.
Fine. I mean, I'm flexible. Oh, mouth last. And bat face.
Alright.
Bat face indeed.
Alright, I figured it out. He's supposed to be a Japanese sparrowhawk.
Let me see. Hold on.
He was supposed to be brown when they originally designed him, and they had to change his color to white in order to make him more different from the other Rito.
Right.
We're talking about Teba, because I'm curious, like, where did his name come from? What bird is he supposed to be? Right, because it's like...
Who's this Taylor?
The Zori and the Rito are all bird and fish people, but they're all specifically, like, one kind of species, right? This king of the Zora is a blue whale, his advisor is a... Banta Ray, Sidon's a great white.
Looks more like a great red to me.
Oh.
Oh. Oh.
Oh no.
Oh, you too.
Oh yeah.
Oh. How you doing, guys? It has been an adventure in my area lately.
I bet.
Tell us the story.
Okay, once upon a time, there was a Hooga Fluga. And
No,
he
that's
fluga
my
the
story.
Hooga.
That's my story. How dare you? That's my story. I'm suing you.
Okay, you did. How'd it go?
It was great. Everybody was there, and
And you were there. And you were there.
But anyways, Doug, tell us your tale.
Well, I mean, it's not particularly mine specifically. Just this area was slammed with storms, and almost 200,000 people lost power throughout the state. I was not one of them, but I did lose my internet connection.
Yeah.
And had to rely entirely on mobile data, which was very spotty. And then I died.
Oh. But yeah,
I'm betting this is the one I needed to follow the white bird for, and I wasn't even paying attention to that because it was like a month ago.
Nice.
Has this game been out for a month already?
At
Yeah,
least.
May
more than
12th.
that. Yeah.
It has been 36 days since the release of this game.
Yeah.
Wow, and I still haven't started it.
Yeah.
37 days. Sorry, May has 31 days in it.
Dragonbone Mire. That sounds great.
Dragmire.
Like
Ganondorf.
Ganondorf. That was a good little laugh there, Miller. Can I hear it one more time? Something a little bit different about that last one.
I don't know what you mean.
Yeah, what are you talking about?
Those are all exactly the same.
Actually, yeah, that last one's probably more appropriate for me as a bird. Just do the Woody Woodpecker laugh.
Yes. You big old bird face, you.
Bird face. Jonas has drawn a bunch of birds today.
I did. I drew like 4 birds. 4?
I saw at least 3.
Well, you know what? He can always draw more.
He can. He should.
Okay,
Just not when they're as wildly shitposty as sometimes they are when he trusts me.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, I saw your boyfriend Lionel.
Yeah! My Lionel boyfriend named Lionel.
That's canon, right?
Yeah, it's canon.
That's
it
Miller's
is, because
detour.
actually I kind of like that idea.
It's in the game.
Rick is small right now. Hello, everybody.
Welcome to the
In
chat.
chat. Where we chew the fat. What
Yeah.
do you think of that?
I don't know. I have mixed feelings.
Well, too bad.
That's you. You're the 2 bats.
I'm at least 3 bat.
I don't know if I could deal with 3 bat. That sounds terrifying.
Well, I'm afraid you're gonna have to. You best start believing in 3 bat.
What if I don't want to believe in C-bat?
Well, Jonas, do you actually know this?
What?
C-bat. Do you know about C-bat?
It
It just occurred to me you might not know about this.
Is this like Sea Org? I mean, what are we talking
No,
about?
wait. We did talk about this on stream once.
I
It's
think we did once.
We did. The guy who posted to Reddit who was like, my girlfriend confessed to me that she hates the music that I play during sex. And then he shared with Reddit what that music was. And
And one of the
everyone
songs on it
lost
was
their
called Seabat.
minds.
Because it's
Do
like
you-
it's like an EDM song, but then it gets up to the drop, and then it's just like. It's like
Yeah,
what
it's
the
like it's all borderline clowncore.
Boy,
no,
that's,
Clowncore is way better than that.
Sometimes
Have
it
you
gets in my head these days. I'll
Why?
be just
Have
like,
you listened to Clowncore? Their albums
is-
are really good. Earth?
I've actually not listened to Clowncore.
Oh my god, you should. Holy shit, Lewis Cole and Sam, whatever
All
his
right,
name
give me
is, they're
something that you
great.
think. Give me something that you think I'll like from Clowncore.
Flat
As in,
Earth.
provide provide a link. I'm not
I
gonna
will
be.
give you a link then.
Yeah.
Because I think Flat
Don't
Earth
make
is
me
they're
do
my
work.
favorite song of theirs.
Don't make me do work.
But what? I'm gonna regret asking this, but what's Clowncore?
It is a band that is made by Lewis Cole, who is a drummer composer, and Sam. I can't remember his last name is. He's a saxophonist. And
Wow, that
it's
is a very strange family name.
It is. They're funk artists, and they've worked on a bunch of other songs where they weren't working as Clowncore. They're two members of a 5-part band called Nowhere. That's also really good. But they specifically do this Clowncore thing where they dress up in jumpsuits and wear these terrifying clown masks. And they've done a lot of like Adult Swim interstitials and other kinds of things where they do very bizarre music that is almost completely non like melodic or anything, but there are some parts of it that are really jazzy and really good.
Well, now you've got my attention, but
I'm getting this song right now.
Oh my god! See, when you said Clowncore, you know, my mind thought, okay,
yeah, you think it's like a joke thing. No, there's literally a band called Clowncore, and I love them.
I thought it was like a genre. You know, like how there's like hardcore and like, you know, whatever core.
I think that was intended to be the initial joke, but then it turned out to be a real band.
Yes, I did not actually realize there was just a group called Clowncore.
Nice.
Anyway, I'm starting a new movement of music. I call it Applecore.
All right.
Oh, you're not gonna call it Batcore?
Hi, GC.
Hello, GC.
You say you want to
you call it Batcore, and they're like, "Oh, what's that?" And you're like, "Cork."
I just play them a record that they can't hear because only bats can hear it.
Yeah.
Damn it, it's in my head again.
Oh my god, you invented
It's
skee
landed in
ball.
the middle. Well, it landed right in the middle, and it's not falling down, so it's not respawning.
Well,
Maybe to jump over and toss it a bit with Ultra Hand.
Well, can't you reset it? Or
Well, you have to have it drop into the void to reset it, so you need, to glide.
I can get myself over there, so.
there you go.
Oh, Frederick's right, or you could recall it. That's not a bad idea.
Oh yeah.
Can I recall something from that far?
Yes, they did. I remember somebody did some experiments with this. As long as it is at least 1 pixel on your screen, you can recall it from an infinite distance away.
Wow, okay. Recall's more powerful than I thought.
Yeah, it's
It was
not
more
like
powerful
Ultra Hand,
than you
there's not a
recalled.
distance.
I keep comparing it to Stasis from Breath of the Wild.
No, it's more powerful.
Yeah, it's kind of. I mean, it's kind of like Stasis.
Come on. Stop sliding.
Oh wow, are you at like the outer edge of it? Nice.
Easy. It reloads itself.
Nice.
Easy peasy lemon squeezy.
God, can you imagine Link invents a gun and then he shoots somebody and then he recalls on the bullet while it's still in their body?
Yeah.
Lemon squeezy.
Wouldn't that be fucked up or what?
Miller, have you seen
Yep.
Tenet?
I've not.
Oh my god.
I still haven't
movie
seen
that
it
was
either.
supposed to save movie theaters.
Wow. No, it's just funny you mentioned about the whole like reverse bullet thing. But anyway, I won't spoil it.
Oh god.
Lemon squeezy von Houdini.
That was
Yes.
Oh, fuck,
Okay,
what was
I
it?
will
still
give us
wanna-
almost no power. How about that?
I'm still thinking about doing a double feature of Oppenheimer and Barbie, personally.
I think there are movie theaters that'll do that for you.
There you go. God. Well,
Congratulations, you get Plank.
The question though is, what order do you watch those in?
You know, I think you should just, like, mix them together. Do, like, the first quarter of one, then switch to the other, and then just go, like, back and forth like that.
Oh, no.
For optimum viewing experience. Oppenheimer viewing experience.
Probably you should do Oppenheimer first, that way Barbie can be kind of like a palate cleanser, but...
I mean, Oppenheimer's like, what, 150 minutes long?
Lord.
Yeah, but the idea is you probably like go to dinner.
Okay, I guess I'll do it from the
you
other
don't just
end.
sit into one and then sit into the other.
God, I
Unless
remember
I think that's the idea.
when the Dark Knight Rises came out. My ex and I did a theater event where we watched all 3 movies in a row.
Oh god.
There were breaks in between, but they were only like 20 to 30-minute breaks. Yes,
they wanted
Jonas.
to keep you in the theater, so you had to buy their overpriced food.
What if, like, Alamo Drafthouse did, like, an Oppenheimer dinner show, and, like, no matter how you ordered your steak, it was really, really well done.
Jonas, you're a monster.
So, the second I thought of that, I was like, this is a horrible joke. I'm going to say it anyway. And now
Jonas,
it's on
how
stream.
dare you?
Yeah.
How dare you be such a monster?
Thumbs up. Awesome.
Here we are in this Christian family stream. Hang on, I'm getting called.
Astros says, the clowncore reminds me of the very real meme about this death metal band called Party Cannon and how its theme is so different from every other band. Have you ever heard of the band Baby Metal? They're also like a heavy metal Japanese band that are actually pretty good. But again, like, one member of their group looks like a heavy metal artist and the other 4 are like little Japanese women in skirts and stuff.
Huh. Nice.
But yet they still get up on stage with giant guitars and basses and go.
It's awesome. Have you ever seen, like, a Guar show? Like, you ever seen any of their music videos? They're sick.
I have not.
Oh, let me find one.
I'm back.
Hi, back.
Hi, back. I'm dead.
I'm trying to find a really
It's my
good
day
one.
today.
Speaking of clown band, do y'all remember that clown-looking heavy metal guy who went to a furry con with his daughter and got a fursuit for himself for it? Yeah, that's Insane Clown Posse's, what's his name? Vicious... Vicious...
Oh,
Violent
J. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. Violent Vicious, that's him.
And he got his own ICP themed fursuit where it has his face paint on the like wolf head.
I do not know that I would refer to ICP as heavy metal. They're kind of their own thing.
Yeah.
But nevertheless, yes, I do remember that, and it was, in fact, delightful.
Yeah, clown-looking heavy metal guy is definitely like a person who's never heard of Insane Clown Posse, how they would describe it.
You know, it's still
You know,
really
that's fair.
It's still really surreal to me that Violent J's daughter is like a fursuiter. Like,
I mean, isn't Jamie Lee Curtis's kid a furry too?
yeah, she is. She is.
One of her kids, I should say.
Yeah.
Is that the same one that that got her to go on Game Grumps?
Yes, that is Ruby.
Okay. Where they were playing Mario Party and Jamie Lee was just incessantly sassing Aaron the whole time.
I never knew until that moment how weirdly fulfilling that is to hear Jamie Lee Curtis just utterly not taking Aaron's shit at all and just reflecting it back to him masterfully. It was good.
It's so good. You know, I remember watching the commentary for the original Halloween with her and John Carpenter, and like she would regularly see something that would happen on the screen, and she would take on like this stern lecturing mom kind of voice towards him. She would go, "John, John, that's scary. John. Like, why would you do that? John.
She's really cool. Like, there's pictures of like her and Ruby cosplaying together, and Ruby is like, hold on, let me find it. I think.
No newbie in here anymore. Let's see. Hero Mountains at the top.
Like, there was one where like Jamie Lee Curtis, like, she straight up dressed as like, I don't know if it was like a goblin or what, but she had like green makeup on. It was amazing. Oh no, it was for the World of Warcraft premiere, and she showed up wearing here, let me just get the picture.
Yeah, get the picture, please.
Great. I don't know Warcraft very well, so I don't know if it's like a particular character or something, but
It's
she's supposed to look like an orc. It's
Hormglum.
probably Thrall.
oh, okay.
Yeah, it's like I said, it's Gormgun the Hormglum.
No, clearly.
March
let's go.
24th, 2022. Jamie Lee Curtis will officiate her daughter's wedding in a World of Warcraft cosplay.
It's amazing.
Wow. I'm green with envy.
I think she's
I
in the
see.
Warlock.
So it's that her daughter is like a super nerd and drags her mom into these things, and Jamie Lee Curtis is just like, hell yeah, let's just do it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, she's definitely got that kind of energy to her. Like she doesn't take herself super seriously.
No. So we have an interesting question in the chat, Jonas.
What?
If we had to rank John Carpenter's movies, which one would we say was the best?
I haven't seen them all. I don't know if I can. I mean, you probably have. You could.
I haven't
probably
seen
do it.
all of them.
Didn't
Not
they
yet.
do that on Red Letter Media once?
I'm sure they did. I mean, tier lists and ranking lists are like the bread and butter of stuff.
All right, let me see what I've seen out of this list. I've seen.
Wow, yeah, I'm literally Googling this. Yeah, they have a 3-part series where they rank every Carpenter movie.
That's a
It's
lot.
a total of like 2 hours they spent talking about this.
It's
All right,
funny
I've seen-
because he hasn't made that many movies.
I've seen Halloween. I've seen Escape from New York. I've seen The Thing. I saw like half of Starman when I was a kid. I've seen Big Trouble in Little China.
That one's fun.
I've seen In the Mouth of Madness, which I did not like. I've seen
That one grows on you the more you watch it.
I'll keep that in mind. I've seen Village of the Damned, which I was sort of about.
The original Village of the Damned is better. He didn't do as good a job remaking that one as he did The Thing.
Well, Christopher Reeve's great. He's great in any movie.
Yeah, of course.
But other than that,
Have you seen his made-for-TV biopic of Elvis starring Kurt Russell as the title character?
no, but I really want to now.
Kurt Russell does a fantastic job.
Out of the movies he's made that I've seen, my personal favorite is probably Big Trouble in Little China, because even though it's kind of awful, it's awful in the way that like you want to watch. You know?
Now, Big Trouble in Little China is not awful. I will fight anyone who calls that a bad movie.
I mean,
Look, it's absurd. It's wild. It's goofy. It's incoherent. But I will still fight anyone who calls it bad.
all right, fine.
Funny you guys talk about the movie because I don't think I've seen a lot of Carpenter's movies. I actually know his music a lot more. his work in like
Down below.
basically creating the dark synth genre.
Oh yeah, no,
Look at this
God,
cabin.
yeah.
Carpenter
Bless him.
really, along with like Emerson, Lake and Palmer and like Stevie Wonder, he really built on that Moog kind of sound, like the early modulated, just raw electronic square wave.
Yeah, he was a
1970s.
pioneer in that.
Oh yeah, no, that was good.
I mean, like one of the most popular dark synth artists is literally named Carpenter Brut as an homage to John Carpenter.
That's right.
Love that.
That's
Love
right.
that.
Yeah.
What would be my favorite John Carpenter movie?
You know, it's hard to. Go on. Sorry.
Because let me see. Let me pull up the list so I can say which ones I've seen. Let's see the full list. Because I know I'm going to forget something.
I thought I've seen The Fog, but I don't think I saw the one by Carpenter. I think I saw...
Oh, there was a remake, yes. And
Yeah, I
if
saw the
you
later
saw
one.
the remake, then you haven't properly seen it.
Oh,
The
was
Fog's
Really?
high on my
Because
list.
the one I saw was pretty good, especially the ending. Holy shit! You want to talk about like a nihilistic ending?
well, okay, wait a minute, hold on. I think we're confusing the fog and the mist, which is reasonable.
Oh, I
Um,
might be the Mist then.
Yeah, the
because
Mist
I'm-
is Stephen King and The Fog isn't.
Right.
Ah, okay.
Right. And yeah, the mist. I remember that. Someone actually spoiled the mist ending for me because
Oh yeah, it's Mist, because that's
I-
the one where it's the people in the like convenience store and they start turning on each other.
right.
All right,
Yeah.
let's see.
I had a friend other than Stoker who was an ardent horror fan, and he was super pissed off about the Mist remakes twist ending.
Don't you mean the
because
Fog remake?
whatever your face?
Look, man. It's easy. One of them's a mist and the other one's a fog.
Yeah, those
You
are
gotta know
totally
the
two different
difference, or else
things.
you're gonna get eaten by the fogalope.
Oh, okay.
One is a Stephen King movie. The other one is, I think, John Carpenter.
Okay.
Yes, that's why this came up.
That's what he said earlier.
Oh, sorry
Okay,
about that.
so looking
it's
down
okay,
this
it's
list, I'm only counting movies he directed. I started to watch Dark Star. That was like a student movie. Didn't make it very far through that one. That one was kind of dull. I've seen Assault on Precinct 13. I've seen Halloween. I've seen The Fog. I've seen Escape from New York. I've seen The Thing. I've seen Big Trouble in Little China, Prince of Darkness, They Live, In the Mouth of Madness, Village of the Damned, though it has been a while. Actually, that may be it as far as the movies I've seen that he's directed himself. I don't know, I feel like the one I go back to the most often is The Fog. That's just a super enjoyable movie.
Yeah. I mean, for me, well, okay. The one with the best style was probably Halloween.
Yeah, Halloween's just
Yeah.
very strong.
But my favorite is still Big Trouble in Little China because it was just so fucking bizarre.
That is definitely Carpenter being as wacky as he can be. They Live is pretty wacky too. It's wackier than people remember it being.
That's the
Rowdy Roddy Piper, the
Right.
sunglasses, the
Sunglasses,
aliens that
yeah,
look
yeah.
the skull-faced aliens.
Zoom reproduce.
That's the one that that Duke Nukem quoted, and for years the internet thought that he was the originator of the line.
Oh, Kick-Ass and Chew Bubblegum?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like a bunch of Duke's old stuff was movie
Alright,
quotes.
I think you might have a better... Do you have any ice weapons?
Yeah.
Like any sapphire rods?
Yeah, I still have a sapphire rod.
Yeah, so you can use that to make some platforms.
That one went a
But
bit
you could just
far.
pick it up and bring it closer.
Prince of Darkness. Have you seen that one, Jonas?
Oh, that was the Satan one, wasn't it? I remember seeing I remember seeing like newspaper ads for it with,
Okay,
Like-
but like it's weirder
Everybody's-
than just calling it the Satan
Yeah.
one. The plot of this is actually way stranger than that. I mean, yes, it kind of is, but it's also weirder than that.
I have not seen this, but I think I wanted to. I was really curious about it. I remember. No, wait. I've seen a few clips of this. I've seen a few.
Yes,
clips of this
the,
here
like-
and there.
Frickin' there's a church.
Right, and like Jesus was an alien in this one or something.
Yeah, okay, well that's part of it, but you're getting ahead of me.
Sorry. Sorry.
So this church has like this hidden chamber deep beneath it. Which has this green goop that's been sealed away. That's like the literal extraterrestrial physical source of all evil. And this glowing green goo is trying to escape. because it turns out that yes, there's Jesus and Satan and all that, but if you go even higher up the chain, there's also God and anti-God.
Anti-God.
So, frickin' Donald Pleasance plays a priest, and Alice Cooper has a non-speaking part in this movie, playing a homeless guy who is one of the people who gets possessed by the goo. And it's just a super bizarre movie, man.
Did Carpenter write this one?
Probably, I don't remember.
God, I love this stuff.
Let's see, writer. Yes, he wrote this
So
one.
silly.
My relationship with bad horror has and bad sci-fi has changed a lot over the years. Like, I welcome the experience now.
Yeah, I'm sure
This is
there's more over
definitely
there,
one of
but-
those. This is definitely one of those
there's
movies.
definitely more over there. What do the light roots say? Like, do you have light roots over in that
I don't
area?
have light roots over there yet.
Alright.
I already marked all the light roots I do have. I need to do that more. Let me get some more that I've already marked.
Okay.
But yeah, we should do that one sometime.
Yeah, we should. It's
trying
definitely
to
one of those
plateau.
movies that's designed to straddle the line between horror and sci-fi.
I'll just get it from here.
Carpenter's sort of like Sam Raimi in that I think it depends heavily on whatever it is that he's working with in terms of plot, you know?
I mean, Sam
I mean-
Raimi's most beloved movies are virtually plotless.
I think there's a lot of similarities between, like, horror and comedy movies. Like, they really come down
Oh,
to
there's a
timing.
thin line. There's a
Well, I mean-
very thin line.
Horror, I mean, well, yeah, this thing like what is it like?
And I don't
Comedy.
mean, like, Evil Dead kind of stuff. I mean, like, actual comedy movies and actual horror movies.
Well, yeah, I mean, like,
not
no,
the things that sort of...
I mean, who's it that says something like comedy is horror with a punchline or something like that?
I don't know about that, but I know that Mel Brooks is alleged to have said that tragedy is when I cut my finger, comedy is when you fall down a sewer and die.
This is the guy that does the slapstick animals? Yeah? I see.
What?
No. Never mind.
Who are you thinking of?
What are you?
I'm thinking of the Bugs Bunny voice actor.
Oh, you're thinking Mel Blanc. Okay. No.
Wrong-
Mel
wrong Mel.
Brooks. Yeah, wrong. What is it with Mel's? No, but like I've said it before, there's a very thin line between, and this is like a three-way intersection, thin line. Something that's funny, something that's frightening, and something that's fetish fuel.
Wow.
Like-
I was.
Listen, man, you know it to be true.
Oh Lord. Well, the core thing in all of this is, I mean, if we're really digging into the theory tonight on the Roo Crew podcast, is what's the word I'm looking for? There's a core feeling. It's like it's like the feeling that corresponds to a minor note. Like, how much do you know about like musical theory, Stoker?
I know enough to be dangerous.
Yeah. The reason I found this out during my little foray into music theory.
Into the foray fandom. Sorry, go on.
No, thank you. No, this was like when I was convinced I was going to teach myself like piano. There are notes that will always sound off to the human ear because the form and tones inside them, like the core frequency and the harmonics are arranged in such a way that it mimics the human sounds of distress. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like a minor note, like it's amplified by relationships in that there are certain distances, on in pitch where the two notes will sound sinister. You're like dun 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 dun.
Can I hear those notes again?
Dun 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 dun. The Joss thing. That's my go-to because it's like a very small pitch relationship. But no, it's the same thing when it comes to horror, comedy, and as you mentioned, fetish fuel, because like it keys into a subconscious human feeling of this is off, this is awkward, this is weird, and then the mind takes that, and depending on what you want to do with it.
Yeah, well, I mean, you say depending on what you want to do with it, as if it's a conscious choice.
Well, okay, fine. Depending on what your brain wants, your your subconscious wants to do with it. But I mean, yeah, all these things are fundamentally the same. And, that's why, you see all this like psychosexual imagery in like classic myth, and people always want to make light of it. That's why it's stuff like that is such an easy punchline. Like that. What was that one song about like Oedipus Rex? He loved his mother or whatever like that. Wasn't that Tom Lehrer? Somebody. This.
Yeah.
It's the subconscious is just this like garden of stuff that you just experience. It's only the conscious mind, the top level, that goes, that's no good. That's no good. You're not supposed to do that. Your brain's just gonna be like, I mean, we've all been there.
Nope, I've never been there.
Yeah, okay, thank you. But yeah, like, think of how. Okay, here's something to think about. Think of how many jokes where if you don't tell the pun, if you just tell the setup, it's kind of unpleasant. If you just tell the setup and then stop, and then just let the conversation hang, it's like everyone's gonna look at you waiting for you to deliver the punchline, because without it, it's just a sad story.
I mean, like, think about...
I'll tell you for this one that the entrance to this cave is at the base level for the Great Plateau.
I thought so.
It makes me think of, like, anti-jokes, which are, they set up a punchline, and often they seem like they're setting up something that's actually going to be a terrible joke, in terms of, like, being, like, I don't know, racist or sexist or something.
Yeah.
And then there is no punchline.
Right, right.
Like, God. What's an example of one?
Again, if you want to see a musical equivalent, essentially the same phenomenon in play, but with tones, look at the 20th Century Fox fanfare.
Can you do that for me again?
One
more time, I'm not sure I'm getting it.
There, you happy?
Sorry, go on.
Occasionally they've done a few variants, like if you watch there's one for the X-Men movies where they go into the X-Men theme, but like if you watch the Alien 3 Fox logo, it stops on the minor note right before the last one, and just that tiny little change, just slicing off the end there, makes it this like tension building horrible experience, even though they only
smile in your voice. Tension building horrible experience.
Well, but that's what it is. They just slice off the one note, and the punchline's gone, and you feel like, what the hell's happening? I love this stuff.
And then the skeleton popped out.
Even artists eventually learn to exploit the stuff a little bit.
Aha.
When you say that, it's making me imagine, like, what if we just suddenly had just, like, something just, like, totally out of left field happen in the comic?
See, responsible, mature artists don't. I mean, usually.
John, are you a responsible, mature artist?
Yeah. No. No, but like you realize that, like, what's a good example? It's possible to piss someone off with a picture alone, or create anxiety with a picture alone. With
Hang on a second, BRB.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And
what's the
I already have it on it.
What's the effect supposed to be where it's like you show somebody like a person's face and then a bowl of soup, and then they're going to like or dislike that bowl of soup based on...
Kuleshov effect. You're talking about.
Thank you.
What's it called?
Kuleshov effect.
Oh, okay.
And the point of the Kuleshov effect is basically it just shows a very neutral actor cut with a picture of something that this actor is implied to be reacting to, and the audience ends up reading various emotions into the actor's face, even though it's completely the same every time.
Yes, it's the same unemotioned face of a guy every single time, but it shows like a bowl of soup, and it shows his face, and then it shows a baby, and then it shows his face, and then it shows somebody in a coffin, and then it shows his face, and then it shows like people hugging, and then it shows his face. It's the same every time, yet people will read different emotions from him every time.
Right.
Because they, even though these two photos have no relation to each other and how they were taken, when they were taken, or anything, people correlate them together.
Yeah. I mean, it's really, this stuff is really elementary. Like it happens on a level that you barely even notice sometimes. Like, I once saw this, like my art teacher years ago. One of my art teachers, I just had many. Showed us picture of this blue curry. Like this is a thing that some restaurants do in Japan. Let me find a picture of it. Hang on. It's not the same stuff, but here we go. Like,
Curious. If it's like a very dark blue, I'd be like, oh yeah, that's probably just like some squid ink or something. But like,
I don't know what they put into it, but I mean, I think like the point is that is the most unappealing color when it comes to like things you would want to eat.
it comes from the Nemophila flower, which is just a very blue flower.
Right. Like you look at that and you automatically
Oh
think,
wait, nope, it's food coloring.
Oh.
It's artificial food coloring, but it's just a tourist thing to be like, eat or look at the Nemophila flowers and then eat the Nemophila curry.
But I mean, wouldn't you have like, you would feel a moment of pause putting that in your mouth, right? Because of that color.
Maybe a bit.
Yeah. But yeah, we're just, it's, you know, this stuff will affect us. And like, I think the whole reason, I remember this theory, logically, that like laughter evolved because it was an easy way of dispelling tension in a group. Like, like one individual starts laughing and then all the others do, and it's like, oh, okay, the fear is gone. It's like a signal, like, oh, okay, the threat isn't real. You know, everything's fine.
Yeah, we can call out to each other. We don't need to be quiet and like worried anymore. We can be loud and boisterous, and it's fine.
And like, if someone laughs and someone else doesn't laugh, then you know the other person is actually potentially aggressive.
It's a Reploid.
It's a Reploid. Yeah, thank you.
There's no sense of humor at all.
But no, this stuff scares me because
I used to believe that teachers had no sense of humor.
It's like
trained for it.
I'm trying to think about the blue food coloring. What? I forget what color it is, but there's supposed to be a color that looks universally unappetizing because as it turns out there's basically no natural thing that's that color.
I mean, a lot of things are
Japanese
certain
blue
colors.
curry?
Yeah, you missed some
most
context.
highly saturated colors don't exist naturally, but
yeah,
you get that in candy a lot.
yeah.
Mhm.
Chances are, if you see, I mean, it's not from the sky. If you see or I guess water, if you see a really saturated bright blue, it's either poison or toxic or I guess occasionally it could be like, no, I mean, pretty much that's it. It's usually the like poison or toxic come out like that. Those are like stay the hell away from me colors.
Oh yeah, like the blue-ringed octopus.
Right. Yeah.
Which, there was, one of those, tier list, ranking episodes of Game Grumps that they do every now and then. I got recommended an older one by the algorithm, that I hadn't seen before. They were ranking animals that they thought they could take in a fight versus the animals that would destroy them. And, I don't know where Aaron Hansen gets his confidence from.
I mean, he's a semi-professional boxer, so...
Now, yeah, but... I just... there were some questionable choices, is what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
And they started doing some research afterwards into the deadliest animals in the world, and the blue-ringed octopus came up, and they had never heard of it before. And I
they
also...
never heard of Octopussy?
I mean...
I think they just never heard of that particular subspecies. No.
Mm-hmm.
I also, this also brought to mind this video of that went viral some years ago of an idiot tourist holding one in their bare hand and showing it off to the camera.
Oh no!
And like, yeah. That person
Yo,
got
I found
real
this frog.
lucky.
It's bright yellow. I'm gonna lick it.
You know, once in a while I see people like videos of people like playing catch with beach jellyfish. I'm just thinking like, you know, you're gonna learn a hard lesson the hard way.
You're gonna learn about permanent nerve damage.
Ugh. You know, I swear to God, I
Yeah,
saw
this is one of those passcode shrines. I don't remember where to find the password for this thing. Oh.
I saw a beach one once, and I was kind of leaning in to like, to kind of like I wasn't gonna touch it, but I was kind of like staring at it. I was about a foot away from it, and it went like it kind of contracted, and I was like, you know, it was.
you went what? You want to try that again?
Did it clip out? I was like, and I kind of like leaped back, like it was like a primordial reaction. I was just viscerally disgusted by it.
Yeah, Jonas doesn't do jellyfish.
Arcus's Gamers Look Up Challenge. Yup, that's literally this entire shrine is, can you look up?
Oh,
Nope.
I thought you meant like look it up, like you have to Google it, the solution or something.
Oh.
Nintendo doesn't do that yet.
Yet. I'm kind of surprised there's not any games that have been confident enough. There's only one game I've seen do that, and that's Magic the Gathering with their joke silver border set, where they had a planeswalker that it has 3 abilities on it, and the abilities say, go to this webpage and click the button to see what it does today. And then every day it changes.
Really funny.
Nice.
I always enjoyed the unglued and unhinged sets.
Mm-hmm.
The closest I can
Unhinged
think
and
of...
Unstable now.
Ah, right, they did another one. The closest I can think of to a video game actually being like, to get the solution, look it up, is what the original Star Tropics pulled on the NES. Which I thought was really cool and clever, but a lot of people got mad about it. I feel like we've probably discussed this at some point before.
So yes.
And if not, I mean, people probably know this story at this point because it's pretty famous at this point. But for those who don't know, Star Tropics was a late-ish entry into the Nintendo Entertainment System catalog. It was an American-made first-party Zelda clone from Nintendo of America itself.
Yeah.
And but because it was Nintendo of America, it also involved baseball and aliens. You know, America's 2 national pastimes. So there's a part in Star Tropics where you have to input a code into a computer. No, it's not a code, excuse me. It's you have to put in something of a specific frequency. And you need to know what frequency to tune to. And there are no hints in the game itself to tell you what that frequency is. You will find a message from your uncle, who's the missing family member that you're searching for in the game. Your uncle went missing. Your uncle, he's an archaeologist. His name is Dr. Jones. And the game tells you, look at the letter I sent you and put it in water to get the code. Included in the game when you purchased it was a physical copy of this letter, and there's a hidden message on it that you can only see if you get the letter wet. And that is the only way to get the code in the original game.
Well, so that's a common thing they did back in that day. That was their form of DRM, to keep people from playing the game, finishing it, and selling it off, or giving cheats to people, is they would have some kind of code in the physical manual for the game or whatever. Monkey Island famously had one where you had to like fit people's faces together, and then you would you had this like discs that would rotate around, these paper discs that would rotate around, line up people's faces, and then you get a code. There's a lot of things
but I'm
like
pretty
that.
sure this is the only time that a Nintendo game ever did it.
That's almost certainly not true.
There,
For the reason they probably did also the you had to get it wet is because then it wouldn't go through a copy machine, so you couldn't then record it and make new copies of it.
I mean, it was just 3 numbers. It would have been very easy to.
You're
write
very
those
close to
down.
figuring this out, Rick. But you have the ability to figure this out.
Like, I think it was you were supposed to tune it to 747 megahertz or something like that. All you needed was the 747. That would have been extraordinarily easy to share, without copying anything.
It's
remember.
a little tricksy thing.
I can't remember if there was any games that did this back then, but it wouldn't strike me as odd after Star Tropics that there were certain games out there that had your instruction manual with codes and passwords in it, but not many.
No, Simon Tesla, it wasn't about copying the cartridges. It was about somebody playing through the game and then selling it and then somebody else buying it used. They basically wanted to say you always had to buy the game new. They wanted to exclude any sort of secondhand market from video games during that time. They were trying to completely cut out anything like that. It was not a copy
extraordinarily
protection.
successful.
It was a killing the secondhand market measure, which was very fucking stupid, and I'm glad we dropped that off. That's no longer a thing. Now instead you have digital versions that you don't even own it in the first place.
Yeah, I was about to say.
I mean,
Thank God.
At any time, revoke your access to their servers.
You pay Steam for convenience, not to own anything.
Convenience.
You have a lease to you lease the licenses for those games from Steam or whoever. That is how that works in a legal sense.
Okay,
I'm not-
there's several down there.
I can't
There's a
say
couple
I'm-
over here.
I've never been completely thrilled with the whole digital ownership thing, but I mean, ultimately, I don't really care. I mean, I knew things were progressing in this direction, and it is what it is. If there's anything that I really, really, really want a physical copy of, I'll probably get it. But I mean, even that doesn't mean as much as it used to. Everything's it's all cloud. It's all cloud stuff now, clouds and DRMs and whatnot.
You're the cloud now. No, I was thinking about the other day how I was reading someone saying.
Stoker, hold on, Stokes. Go ahead, GC.
I have my physical copies of Metroid, and I'll never forget it.
Anyway, okay, Stoker, continue.
It was making me think of how the other day I was reading someone's. I think it was a director. I don't remember which one though. an opinion piece that was saying something along the lines of like, if your movie was made specifically for a streaming platform and only released on that streaming platform, it might as well not have ever existed.
Mm. So, I mean, I'm old enough to remember when there were new vinyl releases.
There's still new vinyl releases.
Okay, I mean,
Yeah. But you
top
mean not
four.
as like a kitschy thing? You mean
yeah.
as like
I mean,
that
like
was the
top-
main form they were released in?
right, like top 40. Well, okay. Usually, when I was a kid, we were at the point where it was like vinyl and cassette side by side. You know, maybe also 8-track. I don't know. But yes, I remember top 40 stuff. I remember large vinyl sections with new releases. And I mean, you know, when you look at like a shelf full of vinyl versus an MP3 player, you know, you understand why in many ways it's better. Same thing with video games. I mean, you know, I love the feel of NES cartridges, but I also acknowledge that like these, you know, these 8-bit games, you know, with you know relatively unsophisticated modern standards, you know, a collection of like, you know, you could have a bookshelf full of them. So that and you know, digital stuff, you know, there's you know, it takes up zero mass, you know. So I mean, yeah, it makes sense. It's not quite the same, but I mean, you just need to accept these things as, you know, part of the march of time.
Nope. I reject all of that.
Like, I would love. I mean, this is, you know, assuming I had, you know, the kind of budget for it. I would love to rebuild my old NES collection, but even so, the much more pragmatic, likely choice is going to be just saving up for a Switch.
Best time to rebuild your NES collection would have been in 1998.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, I know. I'm fairly sure that Mom deep sixed him. I've never like poked her about it, but I mean, you know, it is what it is. She did not like video games. She still does not like video games. I've tried to tell her about things like games done quick, and she's like, okay.
Yeah.
I'm always jealous in a good way of GC's, you know, the fact that GC's family plays games with him. That's so awesome. I wish I had that.
Well, you know what they say, the family that play Canadians together, Canadians together.
What are you doing?
I'm
They say
Canadian.
that?
Yes,
That's
they
what
do.
they say?
That is what they say. You know what? I can cite a source. My source says I made it the fuck up.
Where the fuck did you get that, Colonel? Or Senator?
Like
My sources, I made it the fuck up.
My
One
dad
time-
would. Go on, sorry.
One night, my sister borrowed my PlayStation 2, so she played Guitar Hero at school. This is what I throw at that. It was fun.
Like my dad would play like PC football games because he likes football, but there was never any moment of like, hey son, you want hey son, you want to play this game with me? Like we just never had that. You know?
You want to play Vidya James with your old man?
Are you winning, son?
He had some like right around the time Mario 3 came out. He had like sort of a peripheral interest in it. Like he didn't want to play it, but he'd watch me play it and go, "Ooh, what's that?" You know. And that was the closest we ever got to bonding over video games.
My father technically like introduced me to video games, but like by the time I was able to play them by myself, he like just completely dropped off them.
Yeah.
I remember I was 3 years old when he booted up Quake to play it with me sitting in his lap. And I remember thinking, should I be playing this game? Isn't it like horror, something scary?
Babby Miller, still with some eggshell on him.
Yeah. And then when I was a little bit older and I had a GameCube and I was playing Super Mario Sunshine, I was just like, I can't beat this part, I need help. My dad tried to play it, he's like, fuck, I can't figure it out. And he bought the Prima strategy guide so he could go through the game and get all of the shrines. Because he just got upset that the game was starting to actually challenge him.
That's funny.
Flo, I would contest that because I think, like, okay, boomer parents were not very interested in playing video games with their kids, like mine. I think Gen X and forward, you know, parents are a little more involved with that. I know some parents of my generation that definitely play games with their kids. I don't know how long that lasts. Like, I don't know if that goes past the kids being little kids, but you know, it is definitely more of a thing that my generation tried to build on as a bonding tool. In my humble opinion.
Miller, why couldn't I have a dad like yours? You do not want a dad like mine. I had so many problems with my dad growing up.
Mood.
People are like, oh, your dad couldn't be that bad. My dad was mad at me or whatever. I'm like, my dad slapped me across the face. More than once. I had my problems. Anyway, Zelda dungeon bridge making, yes. Now you can go across. Cool.
See, this is the part. Yeah, this is the part where I go, "How's everybody in the chat tonight?" I should have like a musical sting to go with that. Or something like that.
Be like,
yeah, when are you gonna make the soundboard?
No, yeah, you need like moving on to the next segment of the news.
Yeah.
Wow, the weather with Jerry.
You know, we have the soundboard built into Discord now, but I don't want to do that because it actually feels obnoxious.
Oh, that's right. There is a soundboard.
Jonas.
But does it have custom sounds or?
Yeah, I mean Rick would have to add them, but
you don't have permissions to upload sounds to this server.
Right. Basically, like, it's one of those things where they wisely give control over it to the server admin. You'd have to either, you know, it would have to be basically like
Okay.
it would either be.
Sorry, I'm looking at some of the sounds I have from another server.
Yeah.
Some of them are very funny.
Let me see if I can hold on.
I do have this one.
We're
rich.
It seems like relevant to our interests.
Nice.
From the Deep Rock Galactic modding server, we have We're Rich.
Oh, didn't the film cow guy release a whole bunch of like sounds and cues that he made for all his?
Oh, shit, sorry, that was loud.
Fuck.
I didn't know that one was gonna be loud. Wow, I should probably not.
I
press
couldn't
that
even
one.
make out what it was.
It was Nani.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just gonna put that away. I'm gonna put that entire soundboard away and not touch it.
When Joker said, or Jonas says something like that, it makes me remind he has something like makes me think he has some sort of controller that has like a.
I didn't even hear it. Do I have
You
it
could-
turned off or something?
You couldn't hear it?
I heard it.
Whatever, we'll
I heard
figure
it.
out.
I could definitely hear it.
Sorry. I'm turning down the bass volume and never opening that again, ever. I mean, I think if anyone should... Go ahead.
No, never mind. Sorry.
I think if anyone had control of the soundboard, it should be Rick.
But Rick's usually playing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what would he control it with? His toes?
Well, there are such things as, like, foot switches. You know.
I was about to say there are streamers who use foot pedals so they can like change scenes while keeping their hands on the keyboard.
I mean, this is what most people use, like, a Stream Deck for, as I understand it. It's pretty much the effects board, usually. But, I mean, you know. Son of a gun. Did my package actually fucking arrive? Will you guys excuse me for 5 minutes? I'll be right back.
All right.
Yay, package is here.
No, I was certain it wouldn't, but apparently they delivered it at,
Oh, I had an adventure like that.
He just threw it at Rick at stream and knocked him all over. See?
No, I was sure it wouldn't arrive. Anyway, I'll be right back. BRB.
Now Stream gets to poke him. That would be a neat story behind it. Someone threw a package at Rick and knocked him over. Now the Stream gets to poke.
That sure would be a thing.
And they eat his butt.
Oh, right. If chat changes the form to pants, it somehow autocorrects to show me the goods.
I mean, that seems like a
Antithetical.
correct thing. That seems like something that should be. It
More
just seems
things
like
should autocorrect
pants
to
and
show
then
me the
nope.
goods.
Yeah, that's
Thankfully,
funny.
I think a lot of things do autocorrect to show me the goods just because the length does some weird stuff with the autocorrect, I think.
I was playing Turok Jordan Street. I noticed that well, of course they had to nerf the super specials.
I'll do you.
You only get the first bar for taunt.
Oh, let's try this. Actually, I don't think that'd do any good.
Oh, so it only went right for once. Cool.
And you got your package.
I got my package.
I'll just do that.
You know,
Okay.
it was saying like ETA 9 p.m. and I'm thinking that's not going to arrive today. That Christmas miracle ain't happening.
And then look.
And then look.
And then look.
And then look.
Look.
All right, look.
What were we talking about again?
I forget.
Anyway, you get your package.
I did. I'm so happy. I'm unboxing it right now.
Oh, it's a new Jonas unboxing video.
Oh, there's a thing over here. No, I can't hold that. Okay.
No.
Will do.
Yes.
An unboxing video with like the lament configuration cube.
Oh my god.
Wow, Rick with the like 1000 IQ play here.
Nice.
Oh.
Did I say 1000? I meant 1000th.
Wait, what's this?
Wow,
Rude.
harsh.
I was expecting that thing to like roll when it was rewinding, but it doesn't seem like it does that.
No, I assume it's because trying to record the rotational information as well is too much, and so it just does position.
You know, you wouldn't think it would be, but I guess okay. Maybe they just decided it would be there were too many potentials for
No,
complicated
wait, that can't
rotates.
be. No, because I know there's a specific exploit you can do to launch yourself up high by taking a a spear weapon that you've thrown because it spins through the air, and then you attach a platform to it when it lands on the ground, and then you rewind it, and then it goes back through its spin, and that flips the platform really fast, and you go flying.
Maybe it only records some
But
data.
that's
and
like
some-
only like a one-axis spin.
Maybe.
I mean, maybe it's
Or maybe it's
conditional
because
about.
yeah,
Go ahead.
maybe it's because it's specifically an animation and not a physics rotation.
Mm.
It's like rotation we could play, or an animation we could play that backwards. That's fine. But like running the physics backwards doesn't really work.
Mm.
Or running the rotation physics backwards doesn't work for some reason.
I think it's because of the Hoogas.
It doesn't rewind the world, but Ultra Hand doesn't roll. Well, we're not talking about Ultra Hand doesn't roll. We're talking about it rolling normally. Like here, does it roll? I can't tell.
It's Hoogas von Flugas, we all know it. It can't be denied.
Very
No,
good
I'm-
job, Rick.
I would never deny it. That thing you said.
But your oddies did.
Well, that's true. Yeah, new keyboard.
Is that what you got?
Yeah, my old one's falling apart because it's a piece of shit, and I shouldn't have gotten Razor. It's all right. I mean, I had that thing for a long time.
You're a
Well,
gamer.
Jonas-
That means you have to have Razer.
There goes
Oh,
our
okay.
Razer sponsorship.
Yeah,
Oh,
thank you.
don't get me started.
like, okay, they're not bad, but somebody warned me that they're not very durable, and I am not a delicate little flower. I have very heavy, crushy bouncer hands.
Thing is, I just want to play my two-piece set. I don't mind them. I do like them,
Mhm.
but they're clunky. They're heavy.
Yeah, they
That's
are.
the problem I have with them.
So what's
And-
your new keyboard?
Oh, it's Corsair. It's like one of the lower end Corsairs, but apparently they're highly recommended. They have much more solid builds.
But wait until we get the sponsorship to go through before you mention it.
Oh, okay, my bad. Don't clip it, Box.
It
It's,
is indeterminable
Yeah.
electronics manufacturing company.
Yeah,
We are open to business inquiries of any kind.
yeah. When I said Corsair, I was just talking about their
That
Uh,
was a thing that was on the market, and
Yeah.
definitely it could be a
Yeah.
purchase, but
Yeah.
you know.
I mean,
Our loyalty is for sale! Contact us!
It's in his blood.
God, I was watching the Myth and Co. today, and they were talking about how they were getting like Raid Shadow Legends offers,
Oh god.
and they're just like, no, fucking no.
one streamer I watch is sponsored by HelloFresh, and she actually took a good chunk of her stream to just go over like some of the different meals they have. And I was kind of getting into it because it was like shit, that looks good. That looks really good. Ooh, they have, diet options.
Mhm.
Options.
Stop.
The HelloFresh ones I've seen have been pretty good because they allow the creator to be pretty freeform with it, but not a lot of the other ones.
I just think about, like, anytime, again, I know I bring them up a lot, but it's because I watch them a lot, okay? I always find myself wondering whenever anyone sponsors something from the Game Grumps, do they know the kind of ads that they make before the sponsorship? Or do they find out when they just sit down to watch them?
I think about the
'Cause-
Crunchy one. The
I mean,
Crunchyroll.
I
one.
think
Crunchyroll
that's the
one,
thing.
that one's the crown jewel.
I think it's also the kind of thing that they look at the numbers Game Grumps has, and they're just like,
Frog.
I don't need to like it. I don't need to be happy with it. It doesn't matter. I'm gonna pay you the money, and you're gonna put this in front of 10 million eyes or whatever.
Yeah, the execs are just baffled by it, but they're like, it works.
Down below.
Do you remember what
Let's see.
video game ads in the 90s used to be like?
God, that was a
It's
good
like,
time.
I remember both
one-
the print ads and the TV ads were just as weird as shit.
What about like the Crash Bandicoot guy, like the Crash Bandicoot mascot suit guy? That's
Like with the megaphone yelling in the
Yeah.
parking lot of Nintendo.
amazing. What was that era?
Hey, did you hear that Sega does what Nintendo don't?
Oh my god.
And Genesis with Nintendo.
The David Lynch ads for PS2. I loved those.
God, those
Of course
are
I did.
very David Lynchian.
Oh my god. What was that era? What were the 90s? What happened? I mean, look, in the 70s and the 80s, you could blame it on the drugs.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
drugs
and you
ceased
can-
to exist in the 90s.
That's true.
Yeah, no, it's just the drugs changed. It became cocaine.
No, the 80s was the cocaine era. Like, really. 80s was just, like, sponsored by Coke.
Oh, so Carrie Fisher was
multiple times.
ahead of the curve.
Yes,
Oh,
yes.
man.
Carrie Fisher's always been ahead of the curve. I just,
And then in the 2010s, it's been Adderall. In the 2000s, it was like caffeine and Four Loko and that kind of stuff.
remember all the caffeinated
And
soap
then
we
now
used
in the
to be able to get?
2020s, it's gonna be like fucking progesterone or something.
Like, man, you remember when energy drinks came out and they actually had caffeine in them?
Do you remember when balls were everywhere at cons? Y'all remember
that's still a thing.
balls?
That's a thing at a lot of the video game conventions, especially here in Dallas, because I think they're headquartered here.
Wait, they still exist?
Yeah, if you go to QuakeCon, anytime you go to QuakeCon, like Balls is usually a big sponsor, and you will see people walking around with like a pallet mover of just like crates and crates of balls.
People walk around QuakeCon with their balls out?
Thank you.
Yep.
Yes.
You just we can look at their balls as they just carry them around.
You know what's funny about balls?
Nothing. There's nothing funny about balls. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
What is this conversation you guys have?
Nice. No, about the energy drink known as balls.
BALZ.
But yeah. No,
Okay.
they were touting it back in the day like it has a dangerous amount of caffeine in it. Don't drink this. And like, it's got like 100 milligrams in a can, which is like, I drink like.
It's like little baby numbers.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I mean, they did the same thing in the 90s when Surge came out. You remember Surge?
Sure. I remember when they were giving out free. Surge was actually out on the Santa Monica Promenade in the 90s, giving out free cans, like free ice cold cans, to like random bros walking by. It was amazing.
You could just have people handing out Surge on the street.
Up here.
Yeah, no, they had like these big like things of ice with Surge and people were like, "Hey, how much is that?" And they're like, "You can just have one." And I'm like, it was ridiculous.
It was Chronicles of Riddick.
Yeah, thank you. But yeah, and Surge wasn't even all. It was like overglorified Mountain Dew, basically. I mean,
Yeah. They temporarily brought it back a couple of years ago. I'm sure it didn't taste the same, but
I associate Surge with like skaters. You know, skaters with the long parted hair and like the yin yang necklace and
frosted tips.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Frosted tips and the Jinka jeans.
Wearing shirts with colors God never intended to be paired together.
I've never had Four Loko. It looks kind of
Good.
yeah.
It's literally death in a can.
Yeah. Not really feeling that.
Every person who has like 2 brain cells knows you don't mix uppers with downers.
Yeah.
Like Pepsi and Coke.
God, no,
Like Pepsi and Coke, yes, geez, Lee, that's what we're talking about when
Not
we
the
say
drink.
uppers and downers.
not the dreaded depressants in Pepsi. Deprepsi.
Sweet summer child.
I just, guys, I know what you're talking about. Go ahead.
Yeah. No, I would never put that kind of stuff together myself. But I mean, I knew people who were cavalier about it. I won't even get into that in the stream because, like, just
No, I know of people who even now will still look for Four Locos, even though they're like much. Well, I think it's just an energy drink now.
is it? Did they
There's
take
any
the stuff
alcohol
out?
in it?
It's funny. But yeah, yeah. Anyway, how's everybody
Oh, they removed the
doing?
caffeine, not the alcohol. Okay.
Oh, okay. So it's basically just booze.
It's just a beer.
What's even the fucking point?
Yeah. I vividly remember it was 2003. I was working for the Oop store. My coworkers took me to Applebee's, and at the time I did not know what a Long Island iced tea was. I just thought it was iced tea with a little bit of booze in it. It was not.
It's a lot of booze
It
without
turned out-
any tea in it.
Right.
It turns out it's got an entire island in it.
No, yeah, thank you. It's called all
You're
Long
the
Island.
shrine themes. You're close.
Yeah. Wondering. Pretty sure it should be in this cave. I don't know if there'd be another cave nearby that I'm missing.
I don't think so. You can kind of tell where the caves are in the desert. If you look at the map carefully, there's like
Yeah, I know. It's pointing that
small
way.
concentric circles that show where the sand pits are. If you look in the southeast of the desert, you'll see a whole bunch of them all together.
Excuse me?
I mean, I guess
No.
that could be that. Alright, double check. See if there's a breakable wall on this side that I missed. I don't think so.
I would try that other hole. I think I remember this one was tricksy for me as well.
Tricksy habits.
I think it might literally be there's 2 caves that come almost next to each other, but there's no actual way to cross from one to the other. Which is irritating, to say the least.
Actually, to say the least, is to do this.
Irate. Here. Into the hole. Put the bunny in the bunny hole.
Ancient prison ruins.
Open the gates. Make way.
Throw the switch! Don't throw the switch. It's expensive.
I get it.
Yeah, he's right.
You're not dead. You're faking it.
Very quiet.
Great, we're in the dungeons. We've got to stay quiet.
Yeah, that's right.
They'll hear us.
They'll hear us. They'll climb through the screen like Sadako.
I'd be a little loud tonight, but
There was at least one horror game where that was a thing that you had to have a open mic on it, and then like if you were loud, you would actually attract enemies.
I like that. I know what you said, Jonas, but for a minute, instead of hearing Sadako, I heard it as Zydeco. That was like, yes, a Cajun with an accordion is crawling out of your TV.
The ultimate nightmare.
Okay, see, now I don't know if I'm remembering this or if I'm making this up. Now I'm thinking of like a game where you are blind. The only way you can see is with echolocation by using your actual mic. But it's a horror game, and if you attract the enemies with your sound, they will come after you. And so you have to balance like making noise in order to be able to see near yourself, but also not being so loud as to attract enemies.
You know the thing is though. I mean, go ahead. Sorry, Jesse. Yeah.
I've heard of that game. I think it was called In Silence.
If you really want to do the echolocation thing, you'd have to be wearing headphones, and you'd have to figure out a way to be like, you make a noise and then it bounces back to you after a fixed like reverb. Like you'd have to figure out a way to make it sort of simplified so that the listener could. I mean, I get where you're going with this, but like it would be an interesting challenge to actually make that work in a way that like you could use to navigate.
Look, just become a bat, okay? Just become a bat.
There was another game I saw somebody playing where it was like you're blind in this environment, and the only way you can see is with this like laser scanner or like a Polaroid camera or something that like takes an image of the stuff in front of you, and then you can see that stuff from now on, but only as it was the moment you took the picture. And there's some horror element stuff where you will take a picture of like a wall or a hallway in front of you, and there will be a figure in there, and you freak out. You take another picture, and the figure's not there
gone.
Anymore.
Yeah.
And it's just like, what the? Where did it go?
Where did it come from? Where did it go? Where did it come from, Cotton Eye Joe?
The game you're talking about, Dylan, was Stifled. That's what it was.
Stifled?
Yes. I heard about it. I think they stopped making it, though. I have to go back.
Echolocation.
I thought that was the one where they went to the Stifle Tower.
Thank you.
Stifle it, Archie Bunker.
A stealth horror game.
Stifle yourself, Edith.
Oh, this was fairly recent.
Terrible Archie Bunker impression that I just did.
I don't know.
I don't know who that was, but Archie Bunker it was not.
So if we don't say stifle around a magic plate, you're gonna trigger them.
This looks kind of interesting. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna drop this trailer in the Discord.
Oh, drop it.
I actually kind of like this.
I think that's the door that opens when you throw that switch upstairs, maybe? Oh yeah, here you go.
Yeah, the most popular game that they use like to talk to monsters is Phasmophobia, and I hear it's coming out with console versions of it this year.
Mythics and Rage, like that one.
It gave me really good goosebumps when I played it.
I didn't do anything.
Yeah, that's the
Is there
game.
another hole in this room?
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, there is.
I like these kinds of games. I appreciate that there's some there's this interesting sort of genre being made of like blind games.
Well, they're blind game players, so
Oh shit! My
Yeah.
power just flickered. Can you guys still hear me?
Yes.
yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Cheechum. That sounds like a monkey from an 80s Japanese anime.
You mean like Speed Racer?
Yeah.
Speed Racer isn't a monkey.
Yes. Am I still here?
Yes.
Yeah.
No.
Okay. Good.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. I guess it's still working. Yeah. No. Everything went off for like a notable interval. Well, everything that wasn't on the battery anyway.
Well, I guess the battery works.
No, I don't know. I mean, my neighbor had a power failure, so I've been kind of nervous. It says Speed Racer was in the 80s, he was 70s. That is correct. Speed Racer was like early 70s, like 72.
I just every now and then I go on a YouTube binge of looking at weird clips from Speed Racer because every clip from Speed Racer is weird.
It was a time.
It was a time, all
It was
right.
okay. Like it was not that long after like Tezuka's stuff, and you can still feel a little bit of that kind of energy.
Yeah. But like Tezuka's stuff was unusual compared to modern stuff, but Speed Racer, especially the American version of Speed Racer, kind of feels like you're watching something made by lunatics.
Yeah, they didn't really quite know what they were doing back then in the localization.
I've only ever seen the live action movie that was bleh,
Oh,
that was Speed
you mean-
Racer. And then like the only part of the actual cartoon I've ever seen. No, sorry. I've seen the live action movie of the original cartoon. The only thing I've seen is he's going over that cliff. That meme. And then there was like a mid 2000s show.
Uh-huh. That was like I think American animated,
Yeah.
and it was kind of. I think the entire
Speed Racer:
concept.
The Next Generation.
I think the concept could be redone well, but I mean, it would have to be in the right hands. Let's just put it that way.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I had a chance. Well, I almost had a chance to meet Peter Fernandez, who was the the voice of the American dub of Speed Racer, and he was like signing at an event, and Mom wouldn't let me go, and I just pitched a fucking fit. I remember that. Then years later, I remember looking back on that and thinking, why was this such a big deal to me?
I mean, you were a kid.
Yeah.
Everything's a big deal to kids.
Yeah, when you're a kid, it's like going to see the Wizard of Oz. You know, not the movie, like seeing the actual Wizard of Oz.
Mm-hmm.
You're
See the wizard, the wonderful wizard of
yeah. I
youth.
was skipping along on the Yellow Brick Road. No, but like you know, the idea of actually meeting celebrities like that is this like cathartic, quasi-religious pilgrimage kind of experience. Like going to Comic-Con was a big deal when I was a teenager. And now it's kind of like, yeah, that'd be cool. It'd be fun. If it weren't, if you didn't have to book a year in advance.
Yeah, I was gonna say Comic-Con has become something of a victim of its own success.
Comic-Con is basically HollywoodCon now, and
Yeah.
that's also inevitable. That's just one of those march of time things, especially even before the comic book movie glut that has happened now. It was heading in that direction, and that just is what it is. It was always going to be that way. I know that some of the old timers started a thing called San Diego Comic Fest, which was billed as like going back to the roots of the event, but I don't even know if that's still happening. But yeah, I would enjoy going back to Comic Con if like there was any way I could do it in a way that didn't involve booking well in advance, paying out the nose, and also like sitting outside, camping outside Hall H for like 24 hours solid, you know, in wait for some, you know.
Yeah, there is a way to do that.
What is it?
Be
Don't go?
wildly famous and be invited as a guest.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, the thing is, like, my whole position with regard to this stuff has changed. You know, I mean, you know, at this age, it's kind of like I don't feel the same reverence or novelty or desire to have the comprehensive experience. Like, I mean, I'm gonna say it without sounding really cynical.
Do it. Be the city.
Oh, it's just, well, I mean, you know, it's just you realize after a while that, you know, so many plots are just recycled and recycled and recycled, and you know, new talent, new technology comes to it, sure, you know, and that does make things different, and we're seeing. But I mean, you know, I don't feel any urge to see every Marvel movie anymore, or every Star Wars series, or every Star Trek series, or and I certainly don't feel any need to check out the comic books, you know. And that's not because there's no disdain for them, or the people who draw them, or the people who write them. You know, I mean, it's all well done. You know, people put a lot of effort to it. It's just, it's not the same. It's just not the same, and that's okay.
It's just not the same, man.
Yeah, no, I mean, yeah. Again, I when I say this, I sound like a cynical old guy, and you know, I refrain from doing that because I don't want to dampen
No,
anyone
you're
else's
totally in your right to be just like this. These things are not the things I remembered, and then it's not just because I'm getting old, but it's because they have actually become worse due to conscious choices that people have made.
in the mainstream. Yeah, indie stuff is where it's at now. Indie stuff is absolutely where it's at. That's. I mean, indie stuff was always where it's at, but indie stuff is really where it's at now. You know, the oversaturation of the corporate aspect has, I think, been to the detriment of some of these franchises. So, you know, I'm really looking for like indie voices, folks who aren't as well known and therefore not as under as much scrutiny and pressure.
Speaking of indie stuff, I need to start looking at what our schedule is going to be for Game Jam.
Oh yeah, when is that?
Oh
July
God,
7th.
we have how much time do we have left?
Which I'm a little annoyed that it starts at July 7th at 5 p.m. British time. I'm like, really couldn't have just pushed it back 2 hours, so it starts at 7 o'clock on 7/7.
Yeah.
Well, what can I tell you?
All right, Miller, we definitely need to like pick a weekend and do a little bit of dry run stuff. Like just you know, practicing building quick assets, putting them in Unity.
I have not
Pushing
found anything of interest in this cave so far. Weird.
Yeah, it looks kind of.
It's. This is what I mentioned. Like,
There should be. Actually, wait, that's a good question. I'm trying to remember if there's a quest that ends here. There's a quest that ends or has part of it. You need to take somebody to the top part, but I don't remember if they care about what's underneath or not. It says there's still a frog under here, but that might be it.
Yeah, it would have to be on that side, which means I have to cross this flowing river of sand that I don't have any manner of getting through.
Hey, well then make a air sled.
Okay, let's see.
It's a sled, a fan, and a stick.
Do I have all of these? Sled.
you know,
Yeah.
Jonas, I'm on the same page as you as
Control
well
stick.
about Marvel and all that. I have the same feeling as well, especially with the only things I really get into with Marvel these days is basically Deadpool and Spider-Man.
Do I
That's
have
about
that
it.
on-
Well, I mean, people occasionally tell me, "Oh, you know, there's such and such really good, you know, arc for X-Men or Spider-Man or whatever that you should check out." And I guess, I mean, I'm interested. but not enough to really like want to get out there and like buy a bunch of back issues, I suppose.
What I did is a
Actually
funny
put it
note because it
together.
actually.
Make sure. What kind of glue did you use there, Earl?
Earl, what kind of glue, Earl?
I use the water soluble stuff. That's what you said, right? No, the water insoluble stuff. Oh, what does insoluble mean again?
What?
It means you can never solve it.
Oh, why is the glue giving me math problems?
Geez, there was a joke I was watching. I completely forgot about it. Reboot is when Enzo was in a room reading all Mainframe's library, and he got dizzy and he says, "This is gonna take millions and millions of nanoseconds." But the screen zooms into his face like this is a big deal, and it says, "This might even take 1 whole second."
I remember that.
I was like, 1 second? Is that a big deal? Yeah. Pure terminology, man. I remember back then I thought it was all made up. And it turns out it's all real.
Well, in the sense, it's all made up.
Mm.
In the sense that someone
It's
had to make it up.
We all words, man. They're all made up.
Wasn't there dangle words all made up and put them in dangle dictionary? It's just written by people, man. Just putting words in dangle dictionary. Dangle.
Assist.
A second in the computer
Dang,
world
dang.
is like a life cycle to a sprite.
Hang on. How many of these are in here? 2, 4, 6, 12, 14. Okay. Alright.
But
Dangle.
but then I realized you're getting games and you're playing games, like 100 games. You can't do those in less than a second. But it was funny back then.
You know, I gotta
Yeah,
say, the most damning part of Reboot's world building, it's just bad computer design to create games that eat up entire chunks of your computer every time you win them.
Well, they needed a way to make it dramatic, you know.
Yeah,
I mean,
of course.
It's sort of like I felt like they were kind of drawing a little bit on like Pixar type concept. Like, what if all the ones and zeros had feelings? You know, what if what if every time you deleted a file you murdered or something like that?
We had that, and it was called Mega Man Pet or Pet Man. Mega Man Battle Network.
Oh, I never played that. I think
All your
Sean's played it.
programs were anthropomorphized.
I
Yeah,
mean, I mean, that really dates back to Tron, but anyway.
Nope. Mega Man did it first.
Oh, okay,
It
yeah,
doesn't
Mega Man
exist.
did. Yeah, you know, before 1982.
Yep.
Capcom really wanted to go with the whole Mega Man knows all the technical genre roots. He can steal your power. He can steal your toaster. He could even help you fix that clean up your bed vacuum
Clean up your bed vacuum.
device. Oh, gee.
Yeah, that those things.
Mega Man can solve it all. He's a robot.
Yeah, remember, artificial intelligence will solve all our problems.
Which,
Dude, I could never have created this beautiful picture. Nobody could have ever done this before, but now with this Chat GP thing, I can make this art because there was never any way that I or anyone else could have ever made anything like this before now.
well, I mean, that's the way people thought computers back then. Heck, I was even on that boat. I thought like computers were like they could fix all sorts of problems, like timeless.
Computers are able to fix almost as many problems as they create.
That's the thing.
No, they don't.
Oh boy.
Well,
Do I have weapons for this? I don't think I do.
I didn't know what kind of things what kind of trouble computers could cause. I only knew about the good things they could do.
Could use the
They
Master
cause
Sword.
all of the problems.
Mm.
Every single one of them.
Bro was like, oh
Oh
no.
god, it's hands.
Oh,
Oh god, it's the hands.
Wow, they travel in packs.
they're gonna strangle your life.
Man, I would have trouble with this. Visually, it's very confusing. Like, this is getting on to the level of, like, Risk of Rain 2 confusing.
Yeah, I'm not even bothering trying to
Oh, look,
get
Phantom
through
Ganon.
that. Yeah.
That's fair. So just spotted hands every first time. Or what if they were paused? What if they were like really like they had like the chubby beans, but still the creepy eyes in the middle? What then?
What if, man? What
God.
if, my guy, my dude, my bro,
Bromansky.
romance guy?
Brogan.
That was Brogan, man.
If it ain't broken, don't fixin' it.
Ha 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 ha! Righteous.
Stop it.
You.
How dare.
Rude.
Charles Green TV Vision. T-Vision? TV. Charles asks, Rick, what is your Fursona's name? Do you have more than one?
Fursona's name is West of Heaven. And I guess I technically have more than one Fursona.
He is a, well, I say he. They are a gender fluid polymorph character, so Rick's Fursona can be virtually whatever Rick feels like it being. Whatever Rick can imagine.
Right. The most frequent manifestation is a kangaroo, but
Yes.
anything's possible.
Also,
anything's
none of the
possible, in fact.
manifestations wear pants.
That's right.
That's extremely important. Sibling to East of
I
Eden, baby
marked
got
something completely
Steinbeck.
different. That was a spirit temple, not a...
Yeah, that was the Spirit Temple. That's where you fought. That's where you did the Rock'em Sock'em Robot fight with Minoru.
Okay.
Did you ever finally defeat Master Koga, or is that still like an ongoing line?
I mean, I could do that right now. How much time do we have?
22
about
minutes.
20 minutes.
Okay, which area was
Probably
Master
a bit
Koga
more.
in?
What does your quest log say? You should have a thing that says the hunt for Master Koga or something like that. Side adventures.
Okay, up there.
Abandoned Linnaeru Mine.
So I was following it up this way, it looks like.
Yeah, you can select the quest in the quest log and it'll also give you a little yellow icon.
Oh, there's another light route over there. I would like to get up there, but I think it wants me to make a flying machine to attack. I guess I could climb up. But that sounds boring.
We can't have that.
Ooh, I want to polymorph it.
What you gonna turn him into, Jonas?
Don't
I'm
say that. Now
thinking-
you're gonna have chat trying to race you for it.
You shouldn't
Too
have
late.
announced it.
That for later.
He's been haunted. Enhanced. Enhanced.
He's been
Yes,
enhanced.
thank you.
He's been enhanced.
Was he haunted with someone else, or was he haunted solo?
Oh, okay.
Try to avoid it.
I don't get it.
Yeah.
Hmm.
You be Han Solo.
Oh no!
Baby's Han spooked.
I'm a Han Spooky.
You're Han's spooky man.
Yes, that's me.
That's Stoker's Han Solo.
He's so handsome.
What is happening?
I don't know. I tried to take a hands-off approach.
Get at it.
Good times.
They were the blurst of times. They were the worst of times. They were the times that Stoker
They were
continued to be
Times
Stoker. Christmas.
Miller, don't you feel privileged to have learned of all this pop culture from me and Stoker that you otherwise probably would have never encountered?
Would never have had the opportunity otherwise. That's what I will say on the matter.
Miller, go have a Tim Hortons.
Oh,
Yeah, but you don't have a Whataburger.
Maybe I
So
do.
who's really missing out?
okay, my power just like it again.
You're still here.
Jonas, quit doing that.
No, I'm.
Yeah.
It's so unsettling.
Stop breaking it. Quit it.
The ghosts are playing with your light.
They do that.
Yeah. But did you see that? I mentioned I went and got Tim Hortons coffee, like from my drip.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, yeah.
How was it, Jonas?
You ever had Dunkin' Donuts coffee?
Well, yeah.
Similar.
Yeah, it's fast food coffee. Like,
Well, it's not bad. It's just got a very generic profile. That's what I would say.
dragon theme.
What? Oh,
In the game, the dragon theme's playing. There's probably a dragon overhead.
yeah.
Well, I can't see it. Oh, there it is.
Oh,
Hey, it's Nadra.
It's stuck up behind
Hey,
you.
buddy.
that
I think I hit
Nadra.
Nadra from
Now
here.
Link's gonna
Let's
shoot
see.
it in the face. What a guy.
Get you some wings on that arrow. Get it go all the way.
There's
What a
good
majestic creature. Murder it.
Link.
We're
I
just
don't-
gonna shave off a bit from the top, okay? It's
I
fine.
get
It's
Nadra's
a
horn.
haircut. All right.
Nice.
Shave it all off.
We're just gonna take the part that was gonna, slough off in time anyway. Like dead skin cells.
Uh-huh. Tell it to the judge.
Your Honor, if you look at my client's history of these things, you'd understand that he is a practiced taxidermist and he understands these sorts of things.
Is being a practiced taxidermist going to is supposed to convince the judge that he was not trying to kill an animal?
I think so.
You know, Stoker,
Maybe.
usually they wait till the animal's dead before doing their thing, I hope. Sometimes? God, that's like a horror movie waiting to happen.
You know, there was an episode of Tales from the Crypt, a fairly early one, where the storyline was an old guy was hit. An old guy at the business factory or whatever he worked at reached the mandatory retirement age, and so he had to go home and start spending time with his wife again. And he discovered that his wife's obsession, I guess you could say, while he'd been gone all the time, was animals. He knew she had a lot of pets, but she was also, like, bringing in squirrels from the outside and taking care of them and all this other stuff. And it was driving him crazy, and he was kind of an asshole about it. So he decided that his new hobby was going to be taxidermy. And that was his solution for dealing with this problem. Anyway, long story short, in the end, she ended up killing him and taxidermying him. And just sitting him in his chair in the living room.
Nice.
Nice, Jonas. That's how you respond to that.
Okay, that was a sarcastic one. I've explained that there are
Okay.
inflections that you have to watch out for. See, if I'm like nice, then it's a good nice. It's sincere nice. But if I'm like nice, then it's a bad nice. If I'm
I
like,
see.
and then if I'm like nice, that means I don't know what to think.
Listen, man, he had it coming.
It's a tonal language, okay? I speak Californian.
Listen, if he didn't want to end up taxidermied, he shouldn't have been so stuffy.
Joker.
Okay. You get into the bunk seat so you can get bonked.
Yeah, somebody bop Stoker, please. Here, I'll do it. I can do it. It's so satisfying.
A biggity biggity bop.
Yeah, that was gonna happen.
There's a buff horseman on my screen. Yes, there sure is. That is Hans West. He'll take you where you need to go, and then some.
There's a buff horseman on my screen. You are correct. Somebody break out that old.
Officer?
Somebody break out that old "you are correct" horse. You remember that one, Jonas?
Yeah.
God, that's like the second or third time that's come up over the past couple of days, actually.
Why is there a 10-hour video of that?
Yeah,
Why wouldn't there be,
he has a
Jonas?
murder train.
Many reasons why there wouldn't be.
That is such a millennial thing right there. Stoker.
You know what I had playing on my PC once a few months ago? Someone took the Shiver with Antissa bit from Rocky Horror and made that like a 10-hour version
not just
where it's just like cutting from like Brad to Janet to Frank to Brad to Janet to Frank, and they're all waiting, and then only in the last second of the video does he drop the patient.
Swear to God.
And
Wow.
I actually left that running on my computer and forgot about it. I left it running for like a full day,
There we
and I was sitting down with my headphones on, and was just screwing with something, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, my headphones just went "Patient," and I jumped.
Nice. Well, it says my dad actually saw Buff Horse West when I was watching the stream. My bedroom TV. He said nothing. Honestly, he didn't care. Well, you need to go get him and explain to him how important Hans West is. Okay.
You need to explain how Hans West saved your life. He jumped in the well after you had fallen down, and he rescued you by carrying you out with his rippling, glorious muscles.
Yeah, Hans West won the West.
And then the two of you kissed most passionately.
Oh.
And then he flew off on his Pegasus wings. And
I love this fanfic. This is good.
I think I'm starting to lose the thread of this plot.
Well, I was Canada. Come to think of it, that's when you think about it. That is actually what a lot of plots do. They go to Canada when they can't fix anything or they want to solve everything.
It's true. Everyone knows that Canada is the place you go to fix everything. That's Canadian.
I mean, look at it this way. Have you ever seen any broken appliances in Canada? No.
It just doesn't happen.
Yeah, it's true. It's too cold.
It's too cold. The appliances freeze into one piece.
Now everybody just comes down here because they want to get the hell out of Dodge.
I mean, have you ever been to Dodge?
No.
Oh, that's right. Dodge is a place, isn't it?
Yes, it's a city.
Well,
in
I mean,
Missouri.
where do you think the phrase "get out of Dodge" would come from? They just invented the word Dodge?
No, people want to escape from Missouri. That's where it comes from.
I always assumed that it was specifically related to the version of Dodge City on Gunsmoke myself,
Right.
but
Which I thought was fictional.
I mean,
Well, I mean, I
Don't
thought it
know.
was. I never. Yeah, I thought it was. I thought that was a fictional place, and there was no actual place called Dodge. You know, I don't know.
I don't know, man. There's a place called Lizard
Wow,
Lick.
that lit up a lot.
There's a place called Toad Suck.
It concerns me that you have these places that like ready, like they're just waiting in your arsenal. It's like, hey, what
First of all, I will have you kindly not speak about my arsenal like this on stream.
They were just waiting in your arsenal. You had Toadsuck in your arsenal.
Okay, that time, Joe.
All right.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
Listen, when I was trying to come up with a name for Penny's hometown, I googled a lot of stuff about like cities with suggestive names.
Was Toadsuck on the finalist list?
I'm
I
just
mean,
saying,
no,
don't
that was
go-
never on the list of names that I was gonna choose, but it showed up in the searches, yes.
You've just gone with it. Been like, yeah, Penny lives in Toadsuck.
Witch's
Thank
Butt
you.
is still very good.
I'm just saying, don't start arsoning around other people's arsenal.
Exactly.
There's a real life place called Whiskey Dick Mountain. Yeah, it's like a mountain that's like kind of fallen over.
What's the one that everyone's like? It was like Intercourse, Pennsylvania, or whatever.
Yeah, that is one of them, yeah. Also, there's a Reamstown, Pennsylvania.
See, with at least some of these, you know, you can tell that, like, at the time, it didn't mean, the colloquialism didn't mean what it did now. You know, Reamstown.
There's a Horny Town, North Carolina. Hooker, Oklahoma.
Boy.
Spread Eagle, Wisconsin.
Freddy Krueger Street.
Yes, Freddy Krueger Street would just be Elm Street.
That'd be amazing if there was an actual Freddy Krueger Street. Can you imagine the real estate just the real estate impact. Hey, want to get out on Freddy Krueger?
Oh, here's
Street?
one for you, Jonas. Hump Tulips, Washington.
Oh, I knew about Hump Tulips. I knew about that one. Yeah. There's one called Squim, which it's not an actual insult, but it sounds like an insult. I mean,
are you sure? Have you checked the insult dictionary?
There's something
certain?
very close to squim that is an insult, but
well, it's not always an insult. Sometimes it's just a term, an anatomical term.
Yeah. But yeah, squim definitely. Also, it's one that I never get right. I always say sequim. You can I mean, I've said this before, but you can tell. You can instantly, aside from the fact that I talk like this, you can instantly tell I'm not a local by the way I mangle the pronunciation of places like, Snohomish or, which is not how you say it, or Snoqualmie, which is also not how you say it.
Wait. How are you supposed to say Snohomish?
It's like Snohomish or something. Don't ask me.
Jonas, you sound like you're defeated there.
Is there anyone who is actual like a Seattle native in the chat who knows how to say it? I've been here, 7 years now?
Thought for a second you meant like you've been in this stream for 7 years.
I've been in this stream for 7 years. Getting that Rip Van Winkle shit going on.
Did you know they decided to name streets in Nevada after Pokemon?
Yeah. What?
According to Vinyl.
There's a new housing development that they've done that before. Currently the new housing development has like Pikachu Street and Bulbasaur Street and Charmander Street. But they've done one before where I think they did like Final Fantasy characters or something. It's this one lady who does these like development plans, and she's a big nerd or something, and she keeps doing references to stuff.
All I'm going to say is...
Oh, jeez, I can't wait for Resident Evil then.
If those streets are not Pokestops in Pokemon Go, I'm going to be mad. Okay, I'm going to legitimately file a protest with the mayor. I'm going to go to city
congressman.
I'm going to go to the city council and I'm going to be like, "What is wrong with democracy these days? You can't..." And they're going to haul me out, and I'm like, "I'm not finished." And I'm like holding onto the lectern with my, with my hands. Oh, we're almost at midnight.
Yep.
Yep.
Midnight's almost at you.
Yeah, apparently.
Midnight is approaching your location rapidly.
Let's see. Oh, I know who to raid. I have a great suggestion.
No, let's not raid them.
Okay. You don't want to raid?
Let's not raid that one either.
All right, look.
I heard that one got canceled on Mastodon or something. Let's not raid that one.
Oh, God. Oh, they got defederated. They got defederate.
I was about to say they got defenestrated.
When you said defederate, I think they took the Italian out of them.
Not the dreaded
tomorrow?
Italian extraction. This one.
I said, should I be worried? Can they extract the Canadian out of me?
Kawagam light fruits.
That would involve completely draining your body of maple syrup. You see?
Oh.
They remove all the maple syrup from your body and return it to whence it came, the National Reserve.
That's like making a law that Rick has to wear pants.
You haven't heard the news?
Hmm? We'll say there's a law that Rick has to wear pants.
I'm sorry, GC.
What is the world coming to? They can't take our rights away like this.
They can't take our dope pants away like this.
We have to have this weird house pet comic writer that does it to see that there's no pants. Also, he's worse.
What's up, Master Koga?
Is he doing this again?
He's still trying.
Nice.
Okay.
Bum, bum, bum.
I'm gonna sink your battleship, Link.
See, I'm very surprised they haven't done like a Splatfest for like, I don't know, Sheikah versus Yiga or something, because like I just want to hear this track in Splatoon.
Where'd he head off
I
to?
feel like it works really well. He's in the water. You gotta do a boat fight.
Oh.
You have to sink his battleship.
I don't want to do a boat fight. I don't have a cool boat.
You do have a cool boat. Should be one right next to the dock. Well, a boat. I don't know if it's cool.
Hello. He wants a cool boat.
Ow.
That's pretty cool. You've got a spinning ghost at the at the front.
That's our boy Yunobo.
I know, Bo.
You gotta jump on. Yeah.
Damage phase.
Put the hurt on him. Yeah, yeah, his boat.
Steal his boat.
Heck yeah.
You got another one.
Yeah, it's funny how they keep complaining about how they don't have Ultra Build, and yet he can just like summon new vehicles instantly.
He just
It's
got
like
really
fish.
good at building them manually.
Yeah, they build them manually and they teleport them in using the paper seals.
That's how it works, Miller.
I mean, that's how they usually teleport.
Thing doesn't turn very fast.
Yeah, it's definitely doesn't look like the latest model. Bit of a Cadillac.
Okay, why can't you give me a good vehicle to steal? Come on, man, what are you doing?
Right? This dealership sucks. I'll get you next time, Gadget. Next time. Thank you, Stoker. Wouldn't have been complete without it.
Hooray. So many crystal charges. It's almost certainly time to go get some more batteries.
And even more! Man, I can go get 7. And the big Poe up there. I want it.
But I want it.
I'll go get you some.
Omnitechomancer, where does the big robot come from? It is and this is spoilers, the 5th sage, Minoru. This is the sage's spirit. She separated her spirit from her body when she was mortally wounded by the Demon King. And she put her spirit inside the Pure Pad, and she's been linked with this entire time. And we made her a new robot body.
Are there different numbers? Okay.
I was just gonna say, she made her a new robot body so she can assist in fighting.
Are there
Still think it should have been like just a giant version of her.
You mean all you want to do is see her turn into a giant woman?
Yeah.
I mean, that's
says,
fair.
thanks for the spoilers. I literally prefaced it with, "Hey, these are spoilers," and also,
Yeah, but I mean,
we've done that already on this stream. It's not
to
spoilers.
be
if we've done it
fair,
on this
to be
stream.
fair, Miller, to be fair, your preface of this is a spoiler was like a half second before you went straight into it. You're like, this is a spoiler, and in the same breath goes into it. To be fair.
It happened on this stream. It's not a spoiler to us if we've seen it.
I ain't seen nothing about nothing.
You can't watch this without.
I shut my eyes, I shut my ears, I shut my nostrils.
Yeah, if people want to not be spoiled by anything, why are you watching a Tears of the Kingdom stream?
Yeah.
I don't know how to handle that kind of person who has that sort of expectation that we're gonna play the game, but we're not allowed to spoil them. It's like, what the fuck are we supposed to do?
Anyway, suggestion for raid is in the Discord if you want.
Let's see.
I do like that Frederick was poking at me about Minoru, and he's just like, wait, why was she in the fight at all? What the fuck is she gonna do? She's gonna walk up to Demon King, separate her, become a ghost, and then that's it. She's no Danny Phantom.
Yeah, well,
You don't know that.
You know. Yeah, I was about to say. She's going goat.
She's going goat. Going
right.
goat.
Yeah,
And now it's time.
yes, we will see you next time, everybody.
Yeah.
Have a good night.
Goat
Bye.
night, everybody.
Good night.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.